Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jesse with Carolina Whitetails, and I appreciate y'all checking us out. I'm really excited to introduce my guest tonight for the show. Nowadays, it's very hard to find positive role models and positive influences, especially on TV. But when I came across a show on the Sportsman channel called Grace Camo Lace, I knew I'd found a good one, and I'm excited to have the host of that show here with me on the channel. They're the Armstrong sisters, Alli and Adriana. Welcome to the show. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Now, like for folks that haven't seen your show, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of introduce yourself and let people know who's who?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Alli, and sometimes we get confused as twins because we kind of sound alike and look a lot alike. There's actually 5 years between us, so I'm the older sister. But our show, Grace Camo Lace, is a faith and family-based show that primarily me and my sister are both hunting on and hosting.
And so, of course, I'm Adriana. I'm the younger sister.
That's awesome. So you said how many years separated y'all?
So there's about 5 years between us. It's like 4 years and 9 months. So we always say about 5 years.
Yeah, when I first saw the show, I thought these girls are twins, but later on after watching it and finding out a little bit more about y'all, I realized, you was a little bit older. Now, our deer season here in North Carolina just ended the first of the year. Are y'all doing any hunting now, or is everything pretty much ended?
So our deer season actually ended in Southern Illinois in mid-January. So right now what we've moved into doing is doing a lot of predator hunting. Adriana has been doing some coyote hunting at home in Illinois, and I've actually been out in Oklahoma trying to get some coyotes and bobcats. This is the time of year that we like to try to get after them, with it being breeding season and everything.
Yeah. Now, for both of y'all, what are some of the successful hunts, or maybe some of y'all's favorite hunts that y'all had this past hunting season?
Adriana, I'll let you answer that one first if you want.
Well, one of the big highlights of our season this year was our trip to New Mexico. We drew all kinds of tags that we haven't drawn before, so that was really kind of one of our big highlights for this season. So out there, I drew a mule deer tag and a Barbary sheep tag. And so, of course, we've hunted mule deer before, but I haven't ever hunted them in New Mexico. So that was a little bit different for us. And then definitely my Barbary sheep hunt. That was something completely new to all of us. We'd never done that before. And it was really challenging and ended up paying off. And I did get to harvest a Barbary sheep. But one of the crazy things was right where it went down at, it was just a really kind of cliff face, bluffs and stuff like that and everything. And actually when he went down, he didn't really run off the edge of it, but after he went down, he kind of slid off the edge of it. So then it took us about a day and a half to get around to him, and we ended up having to call in a professional rock climber to go down and get him. So that was just a really crazy experience for us. And then our dad actually drew an elk tag while we were out there too. So we got to go on that with him. And then Alli, I'll let you tell about your tags that you got.
Yeah, absolutely. So like Adriana said, it was so much fun getting to elk hunt with our dad. Since Adriana and I have both been 5 years old, he's been the one to take us hunting and film all of our hunts. So since we've really been old enough to go, he is a very avid and passionate hunter too, but he hasn't really gotten the chance to because he's always taken us. So this year we got to go on an elk hunt with him for the very first time ever. And so the roles were kind of reversed. Adriana was actually filming his hunt and I was helping him call while he got an elk this year, which was super cool. I love that. And then I got to ibex hunt, like she mentioned, for the first time this year. And it was actually an archery tag that I had. So that was crazy. It was in the Florida mountains in New Mexico, which is just super rugged, rough terrain. There's, tons of rattlesnakes there. Luckily I had my snake boots on. I actually ended up getting bit by a rattlesnake.
Oh, wow.
But it all was good because I did have my snake boots on, luckily. But that was just a super tough hunt, very challenging, but so much fun and rewarding.
Now, I want to talk about the show, but you touched on it a little bit. just a minute ago. How did both of y'all get into hunting?
So our dad had always hunted, and then his dad, our grandpa, I'd always taken him. He's the one who introduced our dad to the outdoors. And so our dad introduced us. And we actually started going with him, both of us, when we were 5 years old. And we started out by going with him squirrel hunting. And to this day, it's still one of my favorite things to do is squirrel hunt. Just so much fun, such good practice. And so from there, we actually worked our way up to deer and turkey hunting. So we both actually got our first deer and turkey when we were 6 and kind of just worked our way up from there.
Now, you mentioned turkey hunting. I read where both of y'all have completed the Turkey Grand Slam, and I think it said, Adriana, you hold the record for being the youngest person to complete that. Is that right?
Yes, so I had completed it when I had just turned 7, and I almost did it when I was 6, but actually my birthday falls within that turkey season. It's April 10th. So right after I turned 7, I had just harvested the last bird. So that was really cool. We got to go to Wyoming and Texas and Florida, and of course I got my Eastern here at home in Illinois. So that was really fun, just getting to travel all around the country with my family and getting our birds for the Grand Slam.
When did you end up completing it, Alli?
So I got mine, I believe it was back in 2009. So at that point, I would have been, I don't know, around 10 or 11, I believe. And so it actually worked out to where when I completed my first Grand Slam, I actually also was able to complete a whole second Grand Slam in the same year. So that was really cool. But of course, with Adriana being younger and everything, we were kind of doing it at the same time, but she was, about 4 to 5 years younger than me at the time, depending on the year.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big accomplishment, no matter what age that you end up completing it. That's a pretty big deal.
Thank you.
Now, are y'all mostly hunting on your own property, or y'all traveling, or doing a little bit of both?
So primarily, especially for whitetail, and a lot of our turkeys come from where we live in Southern Illinois. We've been fortunate to grow up on a farm that's actually been in our family for several years. And so we have about 500 acres there, which is where we grew up. And we've been fortunate to hunt there for whitetail deer and then Eastern turkeys. And that's where pretty well all those hunts come from on the show.
Do you enjoy traveling over hunting there at home, or do you enjoy hunting at home, or about the same, or do you favor one or the other?
Yeah, so we do those hunts at home, but then we also travel out west a lot, especially, to elk hunt and mule deer hunt. We do a lot of turkey hunting out in Nebraska. We've done antelope hunts and things like that. So I definitely enjoy traveling. It's really cool to get to see different parts of the country and meet new people. And it seems like anywhere we go, the main thing we have in common with everybody is that we're hunters and we enjoy the outdoors and being conservationists. So it's so neat to meet all different people all across the nation and see different country. And it's so cool to see too how many different kind of hunting strategies there are and how people go about things. So that's really neat also.
Yeah, I've being here in North Carolina, I mostly just hunt right around here. But one thing I've learned from doing this on my YouTube channel and talking to different people from across the country is just the different styles of hunting and the different, like the culture changes a little bit from out west to here in the South. You may be hunting the same thing, but just the way to go about it changes. And I've learned that here recently. So that's been pretty cool. Something I've learned here doing this.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I think it's so neat that you get to talk to so many people within the hunting industry and hear those stories. And like you said, it's so neat to hear them, and then you can also learn from them as well. So that's really awesome that you're getting to do that.
Yeah, I've definitely enjoyed it, and just learning different people's strategies from where they're at has been pretty cool. Now, I also read that both of y'all were on an archery team in high school and college. Can you talk about that a little bit and how you got involved in archery to start with?
Yeah, Adrian, I'll let you answer that one if you want.
Yeah, so of course, so answering the question of how I got started, of course, we started hunting and all that. And then really for me, especially, I was seeing all the things that Alli was doing. And of course, as a little sister, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. And so when Alli started shooting archery, I was like, oh yeah, of course I want to do that too. So that's kind of just been, she's kind of paved the way for me with everything pretty much. But then leading into archery, I had seen her, of course we would do like some ASA. We're real close to Metropolis, Illinois, where they have an ASA tournament there every year. It's a pro-am. And so she was shooting in those. And so when she started the college team, I was still in high school. So I was really wanting to shoot that. And luckily I had S3DA where we were at in school. And that's like, I think they do mid elementary school up to high school. And so I caught it during my high school years. And so I shot through that for a while. And I actually ended up winning one national tournament, a few different state tournaments. And within that organization, they did indoor archery, outdoor 3D, and outdoor target. So I really kind of got to dip into all the different disciplines of archery that you can do through S3DA. So I was really thankful for that. And then going back to Alli shooting college archery, I actually once I graduated high school, went to SIC, and that's where she went. So I shot there for 1 year because I'd taken some online classes while I was in high school. So I actually only needed 1 year at SIC to get a couple associate degrees and my outdoor recreation certificate. So yeah, I shot there for 1 year. And of course, some of our tournaments were down because of COVID.
Yeah.
I was still there during, it was like 2020, 2021. So I didn't get to go to as much as we would have, but it was still fun to do.
That's awesome. And
Yeah,
Alli,
so my story with archery,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
sorry, that's okay. My story with archery is very similar, only we didn't have S3DA by the time that I was in high school. So fortunately, I got to shoot as a guest shooter for Southeastern Illinois College's team while I was in high school. And that really helped me because I got a lot of practice in and got to shoot with the college students to kind of get adjusted. So by the time I was in college, I was already kind of acclimated to what the tournaments looked like and what was expected of me for that. So my first year shooting on the collegiate archery team, we actually hosted nationals, and I was very fortunate to be able to win the national tournament there with Southeastern Illinois College. And so I went to school there a second year and actually was able to earn that title back-to-back years. So we were able to win it the second year too. So that was an amazing experience and so much fun shooting on the archery team. And something that I think a lot of people don't realize is that there are so many archery scholarships available because there's more and more colleges and universities now that are giving those. So it's really neat that you can, do something that you're passionate about and love to do, and can even go back home and bow hunt, but also get your college paid for as well. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you actually became a coach, is that right?
I did, yes. After I graduated from SIC, they made me the head archery coach there. So once that started, we were very fortunate to be able to build an indoor archery range there on campus, and we had our own 3D archery range on campus as well. So I was able to be the head archery coach over both the outdoor and the indoor teams. And I did that for a little bit over 3 years until I moved. So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed getting to do that and be part of that program. It was a lot of fun.
Was that the same team that you were on, Adriana?
Yes, where she was coaching at was Southeastern Illinois College, and that's actually where I went for that year, like I said, and shot there. And then I graduated in 2021. All my years are running together and all my time frames. But yes, I actually graduated in this past May, and then this past July, I actually started working there. So I'm currently working there and still doing the archery stuff and doing our TV show and hunting and all that stuff. So
How was it having your sister as your coach?
it was a little bit interesting. It was honestly nothing I wasn't used to though, because like I said, Allie's kind of been my coach through life since the beginning
Right.
anyway. So I was like, not really anything new.
That's cool. Now I want to talk about your show a little bit. As I mentioned earlier, y'all host a show on the Sportsman's channel called Grace Camo and Lace. And I think that's such a cool name. How did y'all come up with that name? Is that something that both of y'all came up with, or how did you come up with it?
So we had actually collaborated with, the two of us, our parents, and our godmother is actually Brenda Potts. If you know Stan Potts, that's his wife, Brenda. And so we collaborated on a name together because we wanted something that involved all the aspects that were important to us. So we want to put God first in all that we do. And so we decided on grace as the first word of the title, like the grace of God. And so we went with camo because, obviously we're hunting, wearing a lot of camouflage, and then lace to kind of add a feminine touch, since it is me and my sister hunting on the show and hosting it. And so it kind of just flowed together, Grace Camo and Lace, and that stuck. So before it was a show, it was actually a jewelry line that I had done. And I also had a blog that was called Grace Camo and Lace. So it just kind of grown as we went, and now it's the TV show.
Do you still do the jewelry?
We do. We used to sell it online. We now just kind of do a little bit here and there. It's not quite as much as what we used to do, but we still have some of the jewelry pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, that's a cool name, and the few people that I've talked with, my wife and some family members, about just telling them about doing this tonight, that it's a really catchy name, and like you said, it's three important things that describe y'all, and it's a really good name. Now, for people who may have haven't seen the show, can you tell us how it got started and just tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a very, like I said earlier, a very, family and faith-based show. Like we said, we want to put God first in all that we do, but it's also a great family show because it's shown us, we're on season 6 now, and we of course started with season 1. So we've been doing this show for 6 years, but have footage all the way back from when me and Adriana were 5 years old all the way through. So it really kind of shows us growing up. And our goal through the show, and really everything that we do, especially what's hunting related, is to get other women and youth hunters involved in the outdoors, and to show them how much fun it is, and encourage others, if there's a woman or a youth hunter who's never gone before, to encourage hunters to take them for the first time so they can see what it's like, and hopefully they'll enjoy it and want to start going more. So we started the show kind of with that in mind, and we continued. And the way we really started as far as the filming and stuff is our dad had always filmed every hunt that we've been on since we were 5. And so we kind of just had that more so as a keepsake, for our family. Well, then more family and, local people and family friends wanted to see the hunts that we had been on. And so we would show them, they'd come over to the house, and then people started asking for copies of the DVDs. And so before we knew it, we were kind of unintentionally mass producing these DVDs for people locally. Well, we started selling them at local sporting goods places and the local Rural King and things like that. And before we knew it, we were able to, get in contact with some sponsors and get some traction that way. And then we were also on a few other hunting shows that were on the Sportsman's channel, but we had so much footage and built some traction with the sponsors that we decided we can branch off and kind of do our own thing if we decided to do that. And so, of course, we prayed about it and thought about it and kind of came up with a plan for it. And so we were able to branch off into our own show that's Grace Camo and Lace. And like I said, now we're on season 6.
That sounds really cool. And you mentioned this a minute ago, but also I read on your bio on your website where you talk about getting more women and children involved in hunting and the outdoors. What are some of the things that y'all are doing outside of the show to achieve that?
Yeah, Adriana, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, so of course, just in anything that we do, we try to be completely encouraging and informational, because I feel like sometimes the reason people don't necessarily, especially women and children, don't necessarily get into this sport is because they don't know a lot about it, or maybe they feel like they're not qualified to do it, if that makes sense. And so in everything that we do, everything that we share on social media, and of course on the television show, we just try to be completely open about what we're doing and kind of why we're doing it, and give them our strategy on hunting and things like that. And I've actually done a couple different hunter safety education courses. They have a couple of those locally, so I've gone to those and kind of shown them some tree stand safety methods and stuff like that. So anytime that we have like a local convention or any kind of event here, we try to go ahead and make an appearance and be encouraging and just get out there and talk to all these women and kids that are there and show them all the fun that we're having there.
Do y'all ever travel outside of like to these, like I know around here, I think it's next month, they have the Dixie Deer Classic. Do y'all travel to these type of shows?
We do, yeah. Typically what our show schedule looks like for the year, as far as attending events, we typically make it to the ATA show, and then SHOT Show, the NWTF show, and the SCI show. We didn't make all of those this year, but that's kind of typically the ones we at least try to make, and definitely want to add some more to that too. It gets a little hectic when we start putting together the schedule for the year between the hunting and the trade show type things. But we really enjoy going to those shows and meeting fellow hunters. And it's such a good feeling when you have so many people, under the same roof that share the same ideas that you have and the same passion that you do for hunting and for the outdoors. And not only that, but also for conservation and growing what we all love so much.
That's awesome. Like I said at the beginning, watching the show, I think that y'all set really good examples and role models for kids. Like most of the time, most people think that hunting is a guy sport, but I'm glad that y'all are out there doing what you're doing to show kids and girls. I have a daughter, and y'all that just sets a really good example.
Well, thank you. That means so much to us, and we really appreciate hearing that. Like we said, that's been our goal, to show people that it is possible. And some of the best messages that we've gotten, once a show is aired, that before, maybe their wife or daughter wasn't necessarily too interested in hunting, but when the show came on, they sat down and watched it. And after it, they said that they want to give it a shot and they want to go with their dad, next time. And so that just means the world to us, that we've been able to positively encourage them to get in the outdoors, especially with their family, because we don't think there's anything better.
Yeah, I'm all the time putting shows on the TV, watching different shows and stuff. But here recently, just preparing to talk with y'all, I've been putting y'all show on there a lot, and I've noticed my daughter slowing up a little bit and sitting down and watching it. So that's pretty cool to see that. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
Now I know turkey season is coming up around here this spring. What do y'all have? What are y'all's plans in the future?
Yeah, so turkey season, like you said, is coming up. The first thing that we'll do at the end of March is head to Nebraska with our good friends there at Heritage Outfitters Nebraska. And the turkey hunting there is absolutely incredible. The first time that I was there, and every year after, I've never seen so many turkeys combined in all my life. There's roosts of what seems like hundreds of birds. So that's one of our favorite hunts of the year that we do. And then after Nebraska, we'll head back to Illinois and do some more turkey hunting there in Southern Illinois. That's typically what our turkey hunting schedule looks like. Every once in a while, we'll throw another state in there if we can. But after that, we've got a bear hunt scheduled with QRS Outdoor Specialties. And so we're supposed to head to British Columbia for a bear hunt in June, which we're super excited about. That'll be a lot of fun. And if you've been to British Columbia or have seen pictures or videos, that just gorgeous country out there. I love the views, and there's so many things to see there. And then after that, it'll kind of roll over again into the fall. So we'll start elk hunting, hopefully get a mule deer hunt in there, and more whitetail closer to the end of the year.
Yeah, both of y'all sound like y'all are pretty busy most of the time. Y'all have got a lot of different things going on. Now, like I said earlier, both of y'all completed the Grand Slam, and you just mentioned turkey season. Which is your favorite state to hunt turkey?
I'll let you answer that one, eh?
For me, it would definitely have to be Nebraska and Illinois, because of course Illinois is where I've grown up. I have so much history with just this area, and it's really cool. We have a couple spots around here on our farm, and they're kind of like our honey holes. We go there every single year, and it seems like we can kill a bird in the same exact spot. And then that's really cool too, to incorporate into the show, because we can show a hunt of me when I'm 19 years old killing a bird, and we'll throw it back to when I was 6 years old killing a bird in the same exact spot. So that's really cool. And then of course, just like Alli was saying, in Nebraska, there's just a ton of birds and really great hunting out there. So those are my top two.
That's cool. I don't know if it was the same place that you're talking about, Nebraska, but I saw a clip on your channel, and man, I couldn't get over how many birds were in the field. It was just unreal. I've never seen anything like that.
It is just incredible. And the vocals that you get, if you don't turkey hunt, it's hard to kind of comprehend, but for turkey hunters, the vocals that are out there, because there's just so much yelping, so much hen calling, tons of gobbles. It's just unreal. It's like a turkey hunter's dream out there, to see so many and hear so many. The only bad thing is sometimes you can't necessarily call just because there is so many turkeys.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fighting against so many birds. Now, before we finish up, how can people find out more about both of y'all and watch your show?
Absolutely. So we both have our own Facebook pages and Instagram pages, and then we also have a Grace Camo Lace Facebook and Instagram page. So that's a great way to keep up with us and see what we're doing, and to get in contact with us. We also have a website that's gracecamoandlace.com. And then our show airs on the Sportsman's channel from January through June. And the air times for that are Wednesdays at 4 p.m., Thursdays at 5:30 a.m., Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. And those are all Central Standard Time. But then during the last half of the year, so like July through December, we're also on Hunt Channel TV and MOTV. So that's a good place to find, especially some of our older seasons on there. And then the newer ones, the latest one will be on there shortly too.
That's awesome. Well, to both of y'all, like I said, I really appreciate coming on here and talking with me and giving me a little bit of your time to talk with me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. I've really enjoyed talking to you. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you having us on.
Thank y'all. Well, folks, I appreciate you checking us out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and keep following Carolina Whitetails. I appreciate it.